So now we're kind of back to that same situation, but this time we're looking at the function. So now is it possible for the function f of x to be 1400? So now can this equal 1400? And yes, it can, because there's some number out there that when we plug it in will give us 1400. It's just not an integer. So we can do the same thing we did before, divide both sides by 2. Okay, and we're going to get 700 equals 3 to the x. Now what we found out in the previous slide is that 3 to the 5th was 243 and 3 to the 6th was 729. So what we know is that our exponent has to be somewhere in between those two numbers. Has to be somewhere in between 5 and 6. So maybe you play around with some values for a little bit, and you can do this on your calculator. Maybe you try, 3 to the 5.5. If we do 3 to the 5.5 power, we get 420.88. Not big enough. So maybe we try 3 to the 5.6 power. And that gives us 469.76. What about 3 to the 5.7 power? I'm getting a little bit closer, 524.31. What about 3 to the 5.8 power? And we get 585.20. All right, let's try 3 to the 5.9 power. So we get 653.15. Now we're really close, but it's not exactly 700. So now let me try maybe getting just a little bit closer. What if we try 3 to the 5.95 power? And that gives us 690.0. Okay, let's try 3 to the 5.96 power. Now we're really close. 697.7. So let's try 3 to the 5.97 power. And that takes us just a little bit over. So let's maybe settle on 3 to the 5.965 power. That is 701.5. So maybe we just go a little bit lower here, 3 to the 5.964 power. And I think that's about as close as we're going to get, 700.7. So our x value is somewhere around 5.964. Now, here's the deal. It's possible for that to happen, right? We can see we had to play around with it a little bit because we really don't have a way to solve that yet. But it is possible for us to find an input that gives us an output of about 700. We could get a little more precise if we wanted to, and you could look at your graph on Desmos if you wanted to. But for this, we can see that it's right around that value for x.